What's going on, everyone? So, in the upcoming Scream 7, one of the things that were kind of rumored, talked about, we even got some shots, even like a little image or video of like Ghostface walking down and going into this bar that supposedly there's been kind of rumors going around that Sidney Prescott is the one that's going to own the bar. There's also rumors that no, she's just the one that works there. Obviously, we'll see. Take everything with a grain of salt. But we have confirmation about the bar, which we knew about, but now we got an actual look behind the curtain in the actual bar, as well as several Ghostface. So the video that's on screen right now is this video. And as you can see, you have just a camera panning through the bar, and you see several Ghostface in this bar, several kind of stunt doubles as Ghostface, and it is now proposed the question of, is this going to be a scene in which we see and have revealed several Ghostface? Not necessarily the reveal, but like, no, are they going to hide that, hey, there's multiple Ghostface, or is it something that we get right from the jump? Right? Are we going to get a scene where early on, or maybe mid-film or something like that, where you just have several Ghostface attacking and targeting whoever the characters are? Now, Celeste and Mason, right? Two characters. Obviously, we know Chad. Celeste will see the character that she's playing, but they are and were supposedly filming in that bar. We don't know if they're the actual chase scene or not. We don't know if they're the ones that get attacked by multiple Ghostface in the bar or anything like that, but that they are being ran off. We also have word that Sidney's daughter is the one that is also going to be chased at some point by a Ghostface. We don't know if that's just kind of a prank or it's actually a real Ghostface, but Sidney essentially is going to scare them off, right? So we'll kind of see. I think the bar is going to be kind of a bit of a focal point for Sidney and Scream. Sidney is said to be 40 minutes into this film, which is good. It's kind of on par with the Scream 1 and 2 and stuff. So her kind of being a main focal point in this film. If she owns the bar or, works at the bar or whatever, or manages the bar or something like that, I would imagine she owns it, right? Just because, she's made money off her book deals and movie deals and all this other stuff, right? And lawsuit, right? She had the lawsuit and all that stuff. She's probably got the bag, right? She's probably got a pretty penny. Her house looks nice from the shots that we've gotten and all that stuff. So to have kind of this footage of Ghostface or multiple Ghostface kind of sparks all kinds of questions and things, right? One, how many Ghostface are actually going to be in this film? Two, is this confirmation of the cult? Right? A lot of talks about there being a Ghostface cult to Ghostface, right? Which I'm not against. I don't want it to be like a traditional sense where they're like all praying to a Ghostface deity or something like that. I want it to be more of like a club, right? Where they're all hanging out, they're all meeting out, talking about their kills and stuff, maybe having a beer or whatever. Like I want it to be more of like a, an exclusive club, right? A psychotic club rather than what it appears like, which is like, hey, we have this grand, Stu Macher we worship and whatnot, right? I don't want it to go silly extreme. I want it to kind of be, just crazy and over the top, right? But with what appears to look like 3 different Ghostface, right? Unless they all die or they all get away or they kill whoever it is, and then that's just the reveal and we just know the whole time that there's 3 Ghostface. It would make sense that they'd kind of go the cult route. Maybe one gets killed and they have an early reveal, right? Or maybe multiple or all of them are, and you get like, 3 early reveals and we're all like, wait, whoa, what's going on here? But it's just kind of setting up and establishing the cult. Also, we know that Scream 8 is greenlit and is going to happen. And something that I've talked about, I really do think that this Scream film is going to kind of set up and establish the upcoming, installments, right? The moment this film was announced, there was talks about them doing a trilogy. And I think that's what it is. The only reason I don't think we have Scream 9 completely greenlit yet is because they probably want to see how Scream 7's going to do. And if Scream 7 does really well, then I think after Scream 7, don't be surprised if we hear they're going to do Scream 9, right? Because you want to make sure, because if Scream 7 doesn't do as well as they're anticipating, then Scream 8, you could end up having, we already committed to Scream 8. We don't want to commit to 2 films, kind of put themselves in a bit of a bind. So I think that they'll probably wait to see how this goes. If this one goes well, we already know we're getting Scream 8 regardless. They could always cancel it, but where the plan is Scream 8 regardless, I think you'll get the announcement for Scream 9. So I think that this will set up and establish kind of what you're building forward that'll bleed into 8, 9, and so on, right? But the other side and alternative to this, which isn't as fun, it's just, it's a behind the scenes look. It's a behind the scenes, that's just somebody clearly panning through, showing some exclusive, behind the scenes stuff, which, by the way, like, you see stuff like this and it's like, oh, they leaked it and stuff. A lot of this stuff, I believe, gets leaked deliberately, right? Because supposedly this was shot back in like January or something like that. Like, very rarely does stuff like get out that they don't want it to get out. They might pretend and play like, oh man, I can't believe this footage got out, right? But, it's good marketing, it's good publicity, it's good, for fans. It gets excited. Content creators like myself now can talk about it and go, oh, look at this and that and the other. But the other side of this is that it's just stunt doubles. It's behind the scenes. They probably have several Ghostface stunt doubles regardless, just for, various shots and scenes. It's a fair assumption that there's going to be multiple killers. Every Scream movie but one has had 2 or more at this point, right? So it's very possible that they go with the 2 or 3 route, but it's also possible that it's just 3 stunt doubles and stand-ins. We don't even know if one or multiple of them are even real Ghostface, right? Maybe fake Ghostface show up to just kind of mess with Sidney and stuff like that, especially if Sidney Prescott is Sidney Prescott and they know it's Sidney Prescott. You got to imagine that people probably mess with her and her daughter and stuff like that, right? And kind of, dress up as Ghostface to mess with her type thing, like, oh, the crazy Sidney lady, right? Like, I could see something like that, kind of like the Laurie Strode route. And if they did, and you do have this Ghostface route, like, then I would imagine that you would kind of, I would imagine that, there could be a scene or two, like, where Sidney's daughter's being chased, and it's like, is that the real Ghostface or not? I could potentially see scenes like that. So maybe there's 2 Ghostface kind of pretending and playing make-believe, and then a real Ghostface shows up and just kind of cleans it up. Right? And goes, all right, well, you want to play make-believe. This is a make-believe. Kind of have a cool scene in that regard. Look, at the end of the day, I just want a good movie. At the end of the day, I just want them to put together a great quality film for us that we can enjoy and buy into and all that. And look, it's very possible that that's exactly what we get. I got Kevin Williamson back in the fold, got Sidney Prescott, and Nev Campbell back in the fold, Gail Weathers, Courtney Cox back in the fold, and she's supposed to be getting 20 plus minutes in this film, which is around Scream 2. So there should be some good focal points in that regard. Got some footage coming out. I'm sure we're going to get plenty. I'm sure we're going to get more. We're inching closer and closer. I imagine, in the next few months, 2 months, maybe 3, by like, November, late October, November, December, I think we'll start to see, like the trailer and all these various things, but time will tell. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Are you excited for this upcoming Scream 7? What do you think of this footage? Here it is one more time. And that being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me not. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.